Hey there. Good morning. So glad to see you here. Welcome. Thanks for watching this video. I have what I feel is a super important message for all business owners, but especially for those who are trying to build a business on their own. So if you are a solopreneur, if you're building a business on your own, please watch this because I was out on a walk yesterday and thinking about this, and it was really getting me worked up because I see so many people making these mistakes as they're growing their solopreneur business. And so I want to talk about that. So if you're growing a small business, come and watch this whole video. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany Huckelman. I'm the founder of Lone Orange, where we specifically help solopreneurs grow their businesses beyond themselves, where we are working with them to grow their systems, to grow their identity, to grow their customer experience, all things that are super foundational for actually scaling your business. But that aside, let's talk about, first of all, I want you to pretend that you are a builder, a house builder. If you're going to go build a house, there is a certain order of progression, right? There's a certain order that you have to build things in. You have to start with the foundation, digging out the holes, putting the concrete down, making sure that everything in the foundation is strong and sturdy, right? Most important, because if there's any structural disintegrity, it will break down at some point. So getting that foundation straight right away is super critical. Then the next step would be putting up the structure. So the studs, the wall frames, the roof trusses, all of the underneath, the skeleton of the house, right? That's next. Then the next thing would be adding the skin to the house, adding the drywall and the siding and the bricks and all of the things that we see on the outside of the structure. So that's got to be next. Then you start with the finishing. You do the painting, you add the cabinets and the hardware and all the fun, what I think are the fun things. And then you get to decorate, which I think is the most fun part. And I want to jump to the decorating, and I want to start decorating very first thing. But if you're a house builder and you start decorating right when you're building the foundation, you start decorating, it's not going to make any sense. It's not going to work. It's not going to be the pretty place to live like you expect or like you want. If you do those things out of order, it's disastrous for your house building, right? Well, it's the same thing for our business. When you're building a business, you go through cycles. The cycle starts with you have an idea. I'm going to start a business and I'm going to do X. So then you create an offer. You create whatever it is that you're going to offer to do for people, to help people with, to sell people. Then you market and sell it. And you attract people, you sell it to people, you deliver on this product that you have sold, and you start seeing places where you could improve it. So now you go through kind of an improvement phase, and then you start over. You start over with creating, so now you've improved, now you're creating that offer or updating the offer. Now you're marketing and selling it, now you're delivering it, and now you're selling it, and going round and round in this cycle. You can easily get caught in that cycle and not go anywhere. What I want to talk about is, well, okay, so sorry, let me back up. So you're in this cycle, but what happens when and I guess as you are growing and as you're developing this business, you start adding things. So you add in different marketing tactics or marketing tools that you're buying and paying for and developing. You're adding systems in, maybe. You're adding team members in. You're adding expensive software in, all in the name of trying to get it to grow, because we are trying to grow our business. We're trying to scale our business. And scaling, meaning that you're increasing our capacity, increasing our reach, increasing our profitability. And there's several ways to do that, through systems, through marketing tools, through software tools, through hiring a team. Those are all the ways that we can start scaling. But what happens when you start implementing those out of order? What happens if you try to hire your first team member too soon and you're not ready, you don't have the foundation laid, you don't have the systems in place where they can help you. What happens if you pay for some expensive marketing tool or expensive marketing tactic before you're ready, before you have your defined brand, before you know what that foundation is? What happens when you spend a ton of money on a software that promises to make everything perfect and it doesn't because it's too soon in your business? So I want to give you a visual. I'm a visual person. And hopefully this will help you too. So I want you to envision this. So if we're in the cycle that I talked about, I want you to envision this like a spiral. So you're in the cycle, but your goal is to constantly get bigger and bigger and bigger. This needs to be even bigger to grow, to scale, to have more money, to have more reach and more impact, to do more business. Now we are starting with the cycle, right? So we have the offer. We are marketing and selling. Whoops. Not the greatest writing on the fly like this. Hopefully you can read it. You create the offer, you market and sell it, you deliver, which is an important step that sometimes people actually forget that this is really important to plan. And then you tweak, you innovate, you make it better, and then you start over. So this is the cycle. So you're doing this cycle over and over and over, but every time you're doing it bigger and better, and you're adding things and you're changing things, and that's getting you to scale, right? So that's getting you to have that growth. That's getting you to have this kind of funnel shape spiral. Now, as you go, so this cycle continues round and round and round and round, over and over and over and over again. And as you're scaling, because you are now growing, you're not, as a solopreneur, if you start down here by yourself, you're not going to be able to do everything on your own the way you did it down here, because you're constantly growing and innovating and selling more and marketing more. So as you go, you are going to add things in like defining your brand identity, getting really clear on that. You're going to add things in like software. You're going to add things in like marketing tactics and tools. You're going to add things in like hiring a team. And there's certain places where it makes sense to do that. So when you're growing this, at some point, you're going to have had enough experience where you now need to define your brand. You maybe were kind of floundering along here, but there comes a point where you really have to put a stake in the ground and say, this is what my business is, who we stand for, who we help. This is our values. These are is our company personality. To really spend some time to really define that brand is super important. It's hard to do right out of the gate because I feel like you need to have a cycle or two of this under your belt so that you know what that brand is going to be. But it's getting it defined. Then you can start adding more marketing tactics. Because you have to start improving. You know, if you're marketing just by word of mouth here, you're going to have to start adding new marketing tactics. And there are tons. There are free ones, there are low-cost ones, and there are expensive ones. So discerning what's most important for you at what stage, because you may actually add different marketing tactics at different places, but making sure that you're getting the right marketing for where you're at. All right, that's super important. Recognizing that having a big, expensive marketing tool or marketing package down here isn't yet necessary until you go through a couple of these cycles. It's the same idea behind having your brand defined, is that you have to know what your brand is so that you can market well. Then at some point it may be time for a team. And somewhere in here, there's going to be software. Some will be expensive, some can be cheap. So again, that software might show up in different places, but making sure that you're putting it at the right place in your scaling spiral. It is so easy, and I have made the mistake multiple times, to take on an incorrect brand, to take on a marketing tactic, to take on, not a team, to take on expensive software where it was inappropriate for where I was on my scaling spiral. Okay, so you might be right here right now in your business. You're going to get here. You don't need to throw all of these things in your business right here. Okay, so it's being cognizant that this is a process, that you're going to go through these cycles, that you're going to constantly be growing, and that there are appropriate times to insert kind of these advanced techniques to continue the scaling spiral. So I hope that helps to give you some context. Again, I like the visual, and I like this idea, even for myself, to really discern where I'm at in my business and what I need to add to it to get to the next level. And because, I mean, at every stage of our business, there's going to be discernment. The problem with, if it's a problem, with scaling and constantly growing is that there's always going to be things you don't know. There's always going to be the things you're going to be learning, and that's awesome. But what would happen, so if you're doing this on your own, what would happen if you had a community to help you do that? I was just listening to a video by Brene Brown, and she was talking about how it's important for us to be connected and have a community, but it's also important for us to be able to stand on our own with bravery and courage. And I thought, oh my gosh, is that not the perfect description of a solopreneur? We are standing our ground. We believe in what we're doing. We're owning this business, but we still need a community. And what if you had a community of other solopreneurs where we can lock arm in arm and build our businesses together? We each build our own spiral. We're each going through these cycles on our own, but we have other people who get it, who get this spiral, who understand what we're trying to do, who can support us, who can pick us up when we've fallen, who can give us advice so that we can learn from their mistakes and accelerate our spiral growth. What if you could have that? That's why I created the solo collaborative community. It's a free community for anyone. So no matter where you're at in this cycle, in this spiral, come join us so that you can stand on your own, but so that you have a community of people who are trying to do the same thing in their businesses. It's a free community. Come join us. Invite people you know. Somebody asked me the other day what my BHAG was, which is your big, hairy, audacious goal. My big goal is to help 10,000 solopreneurs grow their businesses by, I think it was by 2030. So I've got a big goal. I want to reach a ton of solopreneurs. I believe that solopreneurs will change the world because there are so many more of us, just in the last couple of years for sure, but even in recent years with the availability of virtual work and be able to run and grow a team virtually, that has changed the landscape of work. And solopreneurs who are passionate about what they're doing, who are brave, who are willing to put a stake in the ground and say, no, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it my way, will change the world. But we need support. So that's why we have the Solo Collaborative community and all the other things that come along with it. But just want to invite you to come join us, join in this revolution of solopreneurs, link arms with us. Let's grow your business and let's do it together. All right, friends, I'm getting a little excited about this, so I'm going to stop talking. I want you to get excited. I will put the link for the Solo Collaborative in the community in the comments below, and I hope you come join us. Take care. Bye-bye.